Welcome to today's Financial Insights session. Are you curious about the currents that are changing our world's stability?
Absolutely. We're diving deep into insights from Jeff Snyder and Michael Beckley that you won't want to miss.
Today, we will break down complex topics into digestible updates so you can stay ahead of the curve.
Let's uncover how financial pressures are impacting governmental stability across the globe.
And we'll discuss how the rising tensions from China's economic landscape could influence global relations.
We'll also share strategies from investment expert Graham Weaver to help boost your portfolio.
Just remember, this content is for educational purposes and not financial advice.
Stay tuned. We'll dive deeper into economic insights right after this.
Today, we're exploring the unsettling trend of global governments collapsing with insights from economic analyst Jeff Snyder.
Snyder emphasizes that these collapses are underpinned by deep-seated economic discontent that transcends political affiliations.
Snyder argues that governmental collapses largely result from degrading economic conditions. Just how profound is this issue?
It's certainly a pressing challenge. As Snyder points out, rising frustrations over lost purchasing power catalyze widespread protests against various governments.
Exactly. Snyder illustrates this with crises in countries like Canada, which signify a broader pattern of instability.
Snyder mentions that it's not just one political faction being targeted. People demand accountability from all sides.
So he's suggesting that the broader economy is the crux of the issue here.
Absolutely. A failing economy often leads to rising unrest, which is evident globally.
Snyder debunks the myth of America as an economic island, asserting that there is interconnectivity in global markets.
Isn't that alarming? It suggests that if others fall apart, the US might not be far behind.
Indeed. The interdependence of markets creates a domino effect, and the US must remain vigilant. Snyder stresses that politicians' dismissive attitudes towards public complaints fuel unrest.
So, if they continue to ignore these issues, they risk losing power, correct?
Absolutely. Recognizing people's pain is crucial, or they risk frustration boiling over.
Snyder envisions a tough road ahead as economic issues deepen across borders.
And as other economies struggle, the ripple effect could impact the US directly.
Snyder's analysis underscores how critical it is for governments to address economic pain points now.
Facing these challenges will determine not just their political survival, but also the stability of the global economy.
Today, we're diving into the unsettling trends in the labor market, as highlighted by the Eurodollar University host. Did you know that jobless claims recently hit a 3-year high?
That's alarming. The host reflects on how consumer confidence plummeted as people realize that the job market isn't improving.
The host emphasizes that employers are not just firing employees, but are outright refusing to hire, leading to a concerning stagnation in the labor market.
Exactly. The host points out that for the first time in over a decade, we're seeing job-finding rates crash down to 21.29%, just above the lows seen during the Great Recession. The host notes that these jobless claims are effectively trapping people in a cycle of dependence on unemployment benefits.
So does this mean they're rolling off benefits after 26 weeks with no job prospects? That sounds dire.
The host illustrates how consumer confidence surged post-election but then plummeted, revealing the fragile nature of that optimism.
It's like a roller coaster. People thought things were turning around, but reality hit, and they're back to square one.
It's fascinating how the host links the current situation to historical benchmarks, comparing it to the onset of prior recessions.
Right. They pointed out that the current job market mirrors conditions pre-2008 crisis. Yikes. The host argues that normalization is key, asserting that we can't just hope for things to improve without solid economic data backing it up.
So, it seems we're stuck in limbo until businesses reckon with reality and adjust their staffing accordingly.
The harsh reality is hitting without meaningful changes. The recovery path looks bleak.
And what seems most unsettling is that confidence is slipping just as quickly as it rose after the election. To wrap up, the host's insights shed light on the deep-rooted issues facing today's job market.
Indeed, it will require collective efforts from businesses and policy changes to restore confidence and hiring momentum.
We're diving into the pressing issues surrounding China's economic challenges with insights from Michael Beckley, a notable expert in geopolitics.
Beckley argues that China's economic rise is nearing its end, potentially triggering increasingly aggressive military tactics as the nation seeks to assert its geopolitical interests.
Beckley emphasizes the risk that China may feel compelled to resort to military solutions rather than diplomatic ones, akin to historical precedents.
That's a compelling argument. Michael Beckley highlights that with fewer economic resources available, coercive actions may seem more appealing to the Chinese government.
And it's not just about Taiwan. The entire region could face heightened military pace from China.
Beckley identifies that the drop in retail sales is symptomatic of larger economic malaise. People are spending less as their financial outlook worsens.
Exactly. High youth unemployment levels reflect a worrying trend for future consumption.
How does this translate to social unrest, though? People seem frustrated and eager for change.
Yes, Beckley points out that stagnation perceptions are fueling public discontent, which is manifesting in protests.
So Beckley warns that as China's economic options shrink, its inclination to tap into military solutions could heighten.
That sounds reminiscent of historical patterns involving declining powers. Are we really headed for a similar situation?
Indeed. He cites past instances where nations seeking to maintain power turn to militarization. It's a deeply concerning parallel.
What about Trump's economic policies? How do they fit into this?
Beckley notes that these policies might exacerbate tensions, since a weakened economy could lead China to escalate military posturing.
So it's like a dangerous game of chess. Each side anticipates the other's next move.
Beckley provides a stark outlook. Without significant reform and a change in approach, China's economic future appears grim.
That's alarming. Military maneuvers might escalate as a desperate attempt to regain leverage.
So what should the international community's stance be moving forward?
This implies that the potential for conflict won't just affect China and Taiwan, it has far-reaching effects even for U.S. allies.
Exactly. Beckley highlights that the entire balance of power could be at stake in the region. Beckley's analysis paints a complex picture. Economic struggles leading to geopolitical instability could reshape Asia.
And that's where we wrap it up. Understanding these dynamics will be essential for anyone following international relations.
Today's discussion focuses on Graham Weaver, a leading private equity CEO and educator at Stanford, as he explores key strategies for investing success.
Weaver delves into the significance of maintaining a long-term perspective while prioritizing what you're truly passionate about.
Weaver stresses that knowing your edge is essential for wise investing.
And he underscores the need to remain committed to your strategy even in tough times. Weaver argues that the best investors are those who thoroughly know a sector.
Such focus not only maximizes returns, but also helps build expertise over time. Weaver highlights the disconnect between public hype and private equity silence.
Absolutely, he reports slower deal volumes and adjusted valuations in the private equity sector. Weaver reflects on how he invested time without immediate returns early in his career.
Patience is definitely a virtue in the investment world. Weaver anticipates a growing trend of investors seeking stability in their portfolios.
Exactly, cash flows are emerging as a safe haven for investors amidst uncertainty.
Ultimately, Weaver's principles urge us to align our investments with our passions.
And that's a powerful way to ensure success both financially and personally.
This episode showcases extraordinary insights from industry leaders, including SoFi's CEO Anthony Noto and former NBA stars turned investors Andre Iguodala and Evan Turner.
They discuss how digital innovation is reshaping finance, sports, and entrepreneurship.
Noto illustrates how SoFi aims to integrate all aspects of personal finance into one accessible digital platform.
He notes this isn't just a business strategy, it's about helping individuals achieve the American dream, which is increasingly elusive.
Meanwhile, Iguodala shares candid insights on lessons learned from common financial mismanagement among athletes.
Noto explains that expanding SoFi's offerings was about enhancing services and cultivating trust.
He boldly invested in a stadium naming rights deal to achieve this brand visibility.
Iguodala reflects on how many athletes lack understanding of financial management due to inexperience.
Turner adds that seeking information and mentorship is crucial for young athletes to avoid pitfalls. Freer points out that successful integration of AI across businesses will level the playing field for entrepreneurs.
Dorsey passionately discusses the ethical implications of open source development in finance and technology.
Finkelstein shares metrics demonstrating Shopify's substantial growth and its support for diverse businesses.
He notes that more individuals than ever are starting their own ventures driven by accessible technologies.
Noto predicts that the tools available today will usher in an era where starting a business becomes easier for anyone with a good idea.
Finkelstein correlates the increase in entrepreneurship directly to advancements in technology and AI.
The insights shared by these leading voices remind us of the importance of education in all fields.
As we look forward to 2025, remaining adaptable and informed will be key for anyone hoping to thrive.
What a whirlwind of insights we just experienced from some of the brightest minds in finance and entrepreneurship.
Indeed, guests like Anthony Noto and Andre Iguodala brought forth such a rich tapestry of ideas.
Absolutely. The focus on financial literacy was a major theme, especially how it impacts entrepreneurship.
And it's fascinating how, while they all agreed on the need for innovation, they had differing views on the future of cryptocurrency.
Right. Dorsey sees Bitcoin as a revolutionary currency, whereas Noto emphasizes the role of traditional finance in this transition.
And not to forget how Sarah Fryer and Jack Dorsey advocate for embracing AI for innovation. It's exciting.
It really is. If you enjoyed these profound insights as much as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Your engagement not only supports us, but ensures you stay tuned for more thought-provoking content.
Join us next time as we deep dive into the world of global markets and their intricate dynamics. You won't want to miss it.
Thank you for watching, and remember to check out our other videos for even more valuable information.